G'day Big V, Championship Women podcast here. We're going to dissect this ladder and run home for some finals contention teams as we have 3 weeks left. So the most out of all of our divisions, Championship Women, going to round 19. And we see Wyndham at the top of the table mark, 18 and zip, potentially going to be one of the only teams in all of Big V to go undefeated for the year.
I can't see anybody knocking them off at this point. Bulleen had a close run with them on the weekend, just losing by the 6 points. But this is a strong Wyndham team. They've got a whole range of scorers, and they're pretty well drilled in what they want to do. So they'll go into the final series with that top spot locked away, and they'll cross over against fourth in a 3-game series.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you think about this lineup, and even without the likes of Gianni Aniev, who I believe is in Portland playing college in a moment, like the effect that she would have if she was still here would just be ridiculous, really.
Yeah, for sure. She's a huge piece that they're now missing, and funnily enough, they're still winning. So it goes to show the strength of their team.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, talk to me about Bulleen and Sherbrooke, because they've effectively locked second and third. So, and the number of games between the two of them, 15 wins for Bulleen and 11 wins for Sherbrooke. You're probably just going to lock these 3 in. So Bulleen are going to verse Sherbrooke in the first round of finals, and then Wyndham has got some question marks as to who they're going to verse.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think these 3 teams have been locked away for a while now in terms of being the best 3. We thought, depending on how Sherbrooke would develop with that cohesion as the season went on, that they might be able to challenge that second spot for a while there. But Bulleen have held it together, and Bulleen have just got better and better each week. Sherbrooke was obviously interesting. They got a lot of their losses early in the season when Portia Poole wasn't around yet, and neither was Tanea Soalo. But they've really sort of built a formidable team now, and they won't be losing that second and third spot. So you can book it in here. What a matchup. First week of finals, Bulleen and Sherbrooke in a best of 3 series there.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very interesting there. But the biggest sort of area that we're going to dissect here is who's going to come in fourth, because there's 3 teams here that we can dissect and we can discuss here, which we will, because McKinnon are currently sitting fourth. They're 8-10 record. You got Hume right behind them sitting fifth with 6-12 record, paired with Sunbury, who have got 1 more game under their belt, but it's on loss, so they're 6-13.
Yeah, you look at this, and obviously McKinnon are in a box seat, aren't they, with the 2 extra wins?
They are.
However, when you start to dissect the fixture a bit more, Ted, this is where it gets really interesting. So while Hume and Sunbury have a bye this weekend, they won't be playing, McKinnon go head-to-head with Bulleen, which Bulleen historically across the season haven't had any trouble with McKinnon, so that's potentially a loss.
Yep.
You move on to the next week, and all of a sudden you've got Sunbury and McKinnon going head-to-head.
This is massive.
Massive, because if McKinnon lock that game away, if they win that one, they've locked away their top 4.
Yeah, that's 10 wins.
However, Sunbury will be playing hard, because as soon as they win that game, or if they win that game, their season is well and truly alive. Mind you, keep it in perspective, Ted, I haven't looked at the head-to-head specifically between them and McKinnon yet. And then you look at the last round, Hume's got Camberwell. Camberwell should be back to full strength then, so will be a little bit more challenging than what they have been sort of the middle part of this season.
Yeah.
Hume also have Sherbrooke, who, once again, Sherbrooke haven't had a heap of trouble with Hume this season. And McKinnon have the task of trying to knock off Wyndham, which realistically, based on percentages this year, it's not looking likely. So it's going to be a really interesting run home, Ted.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, you also have Sherbrooke rounding out their season. Sunbury rounding out their season versus Sherbrooke as well in round 19. So, a lot can happen with these 3 teams. I reckon the most interesting one there is going to be this McKinnon and Sunbury game.
Yeah, for sure.
I think a lot's going to dissect there, and we'll be able to talk about that when that week comes. But that's going to be huge. That's going to dictate a lot when it comes to round 19 of how girls sort of prepare for that last round and whether they have something to fight for or not.
Oh, and another big question is Emily Suckling coming back?
Another very good question.
Because she makes them a different team in terms of what the offensive output can be. So Very, very exciting couple of weeks of basketball ahead of us, Ted, before we hit the final series.
Absolutely. That'll be all for us today with Big V Championship Women. 3 more rounds. Keep it locked. We'll catch you soon.